What is going on, my friends? The General Skywalker event is back, and in this video I am going to give you guys 6 tips on how you can unlock General Skywalker. Most of you probably do not have him and are looking to get him unlocked here in just a few short hours. Now, a couple quick notifications for you guys. Number one, I will be live tonight unlocking the event for 2 of my friends. Sad day, I am not quite ready for it. We'll talk about that here in a bit. Part of it is that I slacked, and part of it is that B1 just is taking me way too long. I waited too long. I procrastinated, and now I'm, the repercussions are hitting me. Also, modding is going to be very important for this event. I think that goes without saying, and so, my friends, I highly recommend you check out Pimpo's modding services. Link down below in the description on how you can get a hold of Pimpo. He does full roster remods. Very, very good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the tips for this video. Starting with tip number 1, and that is that relics in the right place are absolutely key. Now, taking a look at my account. Now, again, my account is not ready for this event, but I'm just going to show you guys the characters here in the journey guide and what we're going to want to have. Now, I'm going to focus most of my attention on this event on phase 4 of the event, which the most important character to relic in my opinion, is going to be B1. I am farming all of the gear for B1 so I can get him to relic as soon as possible. It's very nice to have a relic droidica, not essential. It will make things a lot easier for you. You're going to want to have as much damage as possible, and relic droidica is just a good idea anyway. I'm not going to get General Skywalker this time, but next time I will be ready for him, and I'm going to have a relic droidica. So, advised, but not essential. B1 is going to be the one that gives you the consistent damage. Also, his Zeta is going to be very important, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Asajj is also very nice to have at Gear 13, mostly for her tankiness, but that's pretty much all that we're going to need her at Gear 13 for, and so you can't, I don't think that she's a must Gear 13. She's a great Gear 13 character anyway. For Phase 2, which is the other tricky one, not as tricky as Phase 4, it's very nice to have a Gear 13 Snips. I would recommend a Gear 13 Padme as well, and then General Kenobi would also be very nice, but you can also just mod General Kenobi as tanky as possible and get away without a Gear 13 General Kenobi. It's just probably a good idea to have him. I am personally going to take my Kenobi to Gear 13 for this event when I get there. Tip number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is to get your mods right. Now, out of these characters right here, there are a few characters that I think are really, really important to highlight on mods. Number 1 is B1. You actually don't want your B1 to be too fast, and we'll talk a little bit about that on the turn order, which is another tip, and I have a video in particular I want you guys to watch. But B1, you need to have as much offense as possible. Same with B2. General Kenobi, you want him to be as tanky as possible. Padme, you're going to want to have a lot of speed on her. Asajj Ventress, you're going to want to have some good offense, and if she's not Gear 13, you're going to want to get her beefed up. Lots of offense on your snips as well. B2, you're going to want to have him actually have, a lot of tankiness. You want him to survive. You're going to want some potency on him too, because you're going to want him to be able to land those debuffs. All right, so that's what I'm going to say about mods, but if you really want to get deep into the mods, I would highly recommend you check out this video right here from my man over at ANZGC. Heinessy, I think is how you say this. I just ran into him while doing research on this, and he has got some really awesome graphics in his video. I've got a link to this video down below. I would recommend you actually check out his full video. Don't just look at this graphic and go off it. The way he explains it is very good. Here's his modding for Phase 2, and then he also has modding guides for Phase 4. Now, he's gonna give you a very conservative gear recommendation for this. You don't have to have the gear recommendations exactly where he is at to beat this event, but it's if you do follow his gear recommendation, like, you're gonna be real safe, especially on the offense. He also has some general strategy tips. This guide is, I mean, go watch this guide. guide as soon as we're done here. This guide is really valuable. There's another guide I want to point you guys to as well. There's just been some great content made on this event, and so instead of trying to recreate it, try to recreate the wheel, I want to point you to the creators that I think have already done a very good job with this, and neither of them are super well known creators, so that's good stuff. All right, let's talk essential Zetas. Now, when we are talking about the Zetas of this event, I'm going to mainly focus on Phase 4. I think for your Galactic Republic team, you probably already have the Zetas there. You should hopefully have them for your Separatists as well. So, let's talk about it. Starting with B1. B1 is not important just for the extra stacks of battle droids. Now, let's look at our B1 here. Okay, can we... Oh, interesting. I didn't realize it did that. Okay, we got to go into our B1. I want to look at his Zeta because there's something in particular there that is going to be a little bit more essential than people may realize. So, Droid Battalion. Notice here, when you add that Zeta, that ability is going to add the 50 stacks, but the ability also gives you the tenacity and crit avoidance. That's actually not part of his Zeta, so you need the stacks, but that ability is also going to be really important to give you some crit avoidance so that you can avoid some of those crits from General Skywalker, which will be really important. So that's actually, I stand corrected, that's not part of his Zeta. I thought it was. That just gives you the 50 stacks. But look, if you're going in there with half the stacks, you're pretty much screwed. B2 is also going to be an essential Zeta, in my opinion, for this event. I don't have his Zeta yet, but I will be gifting him a Zeta here as soon as I'm ready for the event. Let's look at this Zeta. So what it adds is whenever B2 inflicts a debuff, all other Separatist droid allies gain 5% turn meter. This is really important because in the attack strategy for this event, you're going to need to feed as much turn meter to Droideka as possible. I'm going to borrow some attack strategy ideas from It's Just Ian, who I think really has the attack strategy of this event down to a science, better than any video I've seen. I'm going to point you guys to his video as well. And that attack strategy actually utilizes Droideka being pretty fast. But once you get that crit avoidance up there, or sorry, that damage immunity up there, he's going to slow down. You're going to need to speed him back up. B2 is going to help feed that turn meter over there because you're going to need a lot of those attacks from him. Now, other Zetas that I think are going to be really important here. Asajj Ventress, not as important. You're probably going to have her Zetas anyway, but they're not going to be essential for this event. It's really nice to have Droideka Zeta as well. Let's go look at Droideka. I actually just gave Droideka Zeta, not regretting that one bit. Finally got him to gear 12, which feels really good. But this Zeta here adds some evasion, which is nice. And if Droideka has damage immunity, has 35% chance to assist, dealing 50% less damage. But that assisting there is super valuable. Those extra hits can make a huge difference there at the end of the battle. Whenever a Separatist ally uses an ability, limit once per turn. So that assisting is that increased assist chance, very valuable. Okay, so get your Zetas right. Tip 1, relics in the right place. B1 is the most important in my opinion. Tip 2, get your mods right. Tip 3, get your Zetas right. Now, let's talk about kill order for this event. And to talk about kill order, I want to direct you guys right here to this video by It's Just Ian. He really gets the kill order right and the turn order right. So kill order and turn order are both going to be very important. And if you see here at the beginning of his run, oh, it gave us an ad. It's okay. It's just Ian deserves the ad revenue for this because he's helping us out here. And I, again, definitely would advise you guys to go check out his video. It's I already watched the ads. Okay, go check out Disney Plus, ladies and gentlemen. They got Infinity War and Endgame. That's great. All right, and you'll notice here, he only has the relic on B1, and he's able to beat the event. So at the beginning of the battle, let's see, let's skip ahead to where he actually attacks. What he has important here is he needs Rex to go first. And a big reason for that is because when Rex goes first, when you have General Skywalker knocked down, he won't be able to do his tenacity up and feed turn meter to General Skywalker. That's important. And so he actually has a slow B1 and he has a Droideka as fast as possible, because what he wants to happen here is Droideka to go before General Skywalker gets enough turns so that he has the damage immunity up there. And so you'll see here, once he starts going, he gets Droideka up, the damage immunity's there, and then ideally, the RNG needs you've got here, because RNG is going to be very important, is to have Anakin hit Droideka. That's the ideal scenario, to get Droideka to have the damage immunity up there, and then to have General Skywalker hit Droideka. So he just got the best RNG possible there. Now he's going to do, he says AoEs are fine. You want to clear that tenacity, get General Skywalker down. Now right here, something that's important to realize is you do want to kill 5s first. However, you need to stun Echo as soon as possible for 2 reasons. Number 1, Echo can stun you, and number 2, Echo can clear that damage immunity with his grenade. And so if he throws that grenade out, not only are you going to be dealing with a stun on a character, which is very bad, but you're also going to be dealing with that damage immunity being wiped up. You want to keep that up there as long as possible. And so you're going to rely on your Magna Guard there to stun your Droideka. By the way, Magna Guard, his Zeta is not going to help you much in this event. All right, so then he's going to focus down on 5s. He does get the kill there, and then he goes for ARC Trooper. That's the same kill order I used in the event when I went for it, and it worked very well. However, I did not have the turn order right, and it made things a lot harder for me, even though I was doing this event with full gear 13 on the test account. He's doing it with less gear, and he's a lot more successful. Now, again, this is optimal RNG run, so that's something to highlight. So, again, damage immunity is going to be very, very important. Okay. If you are not able to get 5s out before General Skywalker stands up, retreat. And just retry this. You must get 5s out before Anakin stands up for the first time after knocking him over. Preferably both 5s and ARC Trooper. If you can get both of them out, you're good. Now look there. Echo was able to dispel the damage immunity and get a stun out there. That makes a huge difference. Now he's going to go for Rex, because remember, Rex has that Annihilate coming up. Get Rex out of the way, then Echo, and then you're able to smooth sail from there. Smooth sail might not be the best way to say that, to be honest, because Anakin turns into freaking beast mode as soon as he's there. But if you have the damage immunity up, you should be good, and then just pray to high heaven that he attacks Droideka as much as possible. If you are down to just Droideka and B1 here, you're usually okay. And you look here, he's got Droideka and he's got B2 open. Anakin does do some attacks, and he's able to, I'll fast forward here, he's able to get the win there. And so that is the general attack strategy for Phase 4. Phase 2 is quite a bit easier than Phase 4. I will show a little bit of, let's see here, let's go back to my display. This is me on the event doing Phase 2. What you're going to want to do is, and I kind of got my screen covered up here because I didn't realize how the camera angle would work, but what you want to make sure you get done is get B2 out of the way as soon as possible. B2 just wrecks Padme. You do not want B2 to get the turns in there. Once you get B2 out, you've got these 2 Magna Guards. When you take a Magna Guard out, they're going to drop the shields on the Droidekas, and then you can take out the Droidekas. So take out, you see here, I'm about to get a Magna Guard out. All right. Okay, that Magna Guard is down. He's going to get an... Okay, boom. Shields are down. Then you focus your attacks on the Droidekas once you can. Once you get a Droideka out... Let's see, we'll fast forward here. Grievous is doing his thing. We got a shield down. And the Magna Guards will revive, so you can continue doing this. Once you get the Droidekas down, then you're able to focus your attacks on General Grievous. And my... I literally don't know why my internet's slow right now. That makes no sense. So anyway, you guys get the idea. That phase is not very difficult. And so you're going to want to have pretty good gear, pretty good mods. I do recommend, again, Gear 13 on your Snips and Gear 13 on your Padme. I think those are going to be the most important. C-3PO, you don't really need at high gear. General Kenobi's nice. Sorry, Shakti, not super essential. It's really going to be Padme and Snips that carry that phase. And so that is kind of the RNG need slash turn order and kill order that you need to be aware of for those 2 phases. I'm not really going to touch on ships or phase 3. Ships is pretty simple, and phase 3 is just a gimme. All right, so that was tip number 5. Now, tip number 6. Come with me, ladies and gentlemen. Patience. If you are trying to do this event without all Gear 13 and amazing mods, you're going to need some patience, especially over there on phase 4. It's just Ian again. I can't emphasize enough. Check out his guide. It's a very good attack strategy breakdown. It took him about 2 hours to get that RNG. All right. So if you're doing it without the most amazing relics, etc., you're going to have to wait for that right RNG. But if you're aware of what the RNG need is, if you're aware of what the turn order is, you do your research, you get your mods right, you'll be in a good enough place to beat this event. That's really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Get your gear right, get your mods right. Be aware of the attack strategy, especially for phase 4, and then wait for the right RNG. Wait for those hits to go onto Droideka. Get your speed right so that Droideka gets the damage immunity up as soon as possible, and go from there. All right, that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if this guide was helpful for you. Again, this is a brief overview of the attack strategy, and I highly recommend you check out the videos, both from my man, It's Just Ian right here, and from Hennessy from ANZGC. I think these 2 guides paired together are probably the 2 most helpful guides in the entire game for this event. So those are the 2 guides I would direct you guys to. Check them out. They're going to be very, very helpful for you guys. So again, if you like this video, drop a like and let me know down in the comments below if you guys were able to unlock General Skywalker with the help of my guide and their guides. I think that you guys are going to be just fine, assuming you got the gear right and the mods. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining me for the video. And as always, my brothers, don't forget